Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning horn disease, your sip of chaga coffee. All right, I am still on vacation, but I wanted to clear something up that I hear everybody asking me now about the U.S. Mint, saying they can't buy Silver Eagle. They can't make Silver Eagles because of the requirement to buy silver at spot price. That has nothing to do with making the Silver Eagles. They are required by law to make Silver Eagles in quantities sufficient to meet demand, period. Now, there is a clause that says they have to buy silver at the average price. And I'll get to this in a second. And all this confusion came up with these articles from Patrick Heller. I like Patrick Heller. He just gets it wrong. And I want to clarify this. I've been fighting this fight for so long. Let me first go down the path of where are we at silver? $24.77. Tried a little slam. They can slam it. They can put the price of silver at negative $40 like they put the price of oil at negative $40. We understand that. I jumped on to do this because I just heard the JC and Bill Holter and Andy Schechtman discussion. They were talking about that the U.S. Mint can't make Silver Eagles because of the cost. That is not true. That is not true. And I'll tell you where Patrick Heller gets it wrong. It's basically three articles. First one was on March 18th. U.S. Mint boxed in by legislation. Second one, when it comes to buying silver, the Mint's hands are tied on March 24th. And then the third one, U.S. Mint silver shortages explained. He let me just read you his argument, because in the same breath that he says the U.S. Mint can't buy Silver Eagles, can't make Silver Eagles because they can't buy at spot, he actually defines why they have to buy Silver Eagles. So have to buy the silver at whatever price. Let me go through this really quickly. So his argument is, yes, there are different provisions in the U.S. Code. The first one, 31 U.S. Code 512E, states, notwithstanding any other provision of law, the Secretary shall mint and issue in quantities that the Secretary determines sufficient to meet demand. Now, that was changed. They added that Secretary determines when we were screaming about it like 10 years ago. Anyway, they are required. Therefore, in order to comply with these statutory requirements, the use term shall and instead maybe all that. Here's where he gets kind of tripped up. It talks about how they're going to do it. And again, Code 31 512 F1, the statute requires that the Secretary shall sell the coins minted under subsection for the Silver Eagles to the public at a price equal to market value of the bullion at the time of sale. Now, if he just left it at that, that'd be fine. But it goes on. Plus the cost of minting, marketing, and distributing the coins, including labor, materials, dyes, use of machinery, promotional, and overhead expense. The U.S. Mint outsourced that 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. At some point, they used to buy bullion bars, 1,000-ounce bars from the COMEX or the LBMA, wherever they got them, and then they would make the blanks themselves. They outsourced it because they didn't like the volatility. Not that anything in the statute says that the U.S. Mint needs to make money or lose money. It does not say that in any of the Silver Eagle or Gold Eagle, the U.S. Eagle program. It doesn't say that. So they can lose money in this program, absolutely. But it does say they have to acquire the silver at the average price. That's fine. They can acquire the silver at average price going on the COMEX. They can walk into the COMEX today and take delivery of a silver bar today. Now, the deliverer might have to wait till the end of the month, but they can do that in one day. They can buy a contract and take delivery. And the LBMA is supposed to be a physical market. They can do it in one day and buy it at average price. So that part of it is taken care of. They can get silver bullion in their hands at the average market price for the world. So I don't know why Heller gets all combobulated because he thinks he's equating a silver 1,000-ounce bar to a blank planchette. No, they aren't the same. They never have been the same. There's a lot of processing that needs to go into it, and that's why in this act it says that a price equal to the market value of the bullion at the time of the sale, that's 1. Cost of minting, 2. Cost of marketing, 3. Cost of distributing coins, 4. Including labor, dyes, material, machinery, and all that. All that stuff has to be added to the price that they're ultimately paying. And all the law says, it has to buy the bullion at the average price, which they can do. So I don't know, he gets all confused and confuses these points. And then he writes another article, when it comes to buying silver, the mint's hands are tied. We cannot let these people who are trying to destroy the price of silver, including at the U.S. Mint, who is one of the largest hedgers in the world, by the way, we cannot let them get away with this. So, Patrick, you need to double down and do a little more homework on this. They can buy silver at the average price. The processing is completely separate. So, I hope everybody understands this. 1, they're required by law to create coins equal to demand. Number 2, they're required to buy the physical silver at spot price, at the fair market value spot price. They can do that thing. Those 2 things they can do. The other costs associated with it, the minting, the finishing, the marketing, all that, those are not capped at anything. The first 2 things are required by law. The rest, they have no cost in there. The cost of marketing, the cost of getting the planchette, the finished product. There is no limit on what they can pay or what they should pay. As a matter of fact, they are required by law to pay the maximum to meet demand. I don't know why this is so complicated. But a lot of people are throwing this article around, and JC and Bill and Andy talk about it as well. We cannot let the U.S. Mint get away with this. They are not doing this legally. Patrick, you need to go back and read your article. He says it 3 times. As discussed in the May 18th article, the U.S. Mint has greater difficulty procuring significant silver supplies to meet demand because it is constrained on how much it can pay for the physical silver. It is constrained. They have to pay market price, which they can do on the LBMA and the COMEX. Anybody can do that right now. And it doesn't say you have to buy silver planchettes or silver blanks at the average price of bullion silver. That is not what it says. Anyway, then it says to acquire silver to strike eagles requires that the secretary shall sell the coins minted under subsection E to the public at a price equal to the market value of bullion at the time of sale. Cost of minting, marketing, and distributing coins included. To repeat, here, this is what he said. To repeat from my last March article, other statute prohibits the U.S. Mint from offering to pay prices higher than the established by paper market prices. Code 516A3, the secretary shall pay not more than the average world price for the gold. Yes, that's gold. Absolutely. But that's the bullion. That's what you can go to the LBMA or the COMEX for. And then the silver part, the secretary shall not pay more than the average world price for silver under any circumstances. As used in this paragraph, the term average world price means the price determined by a widely recognized commodity exchange at the time silver is obtained by the secretary. Now remember, these laws were written 100 years ago, 80 years ago. And at the time, the U.S. Mint was making its own silver blanks. At the time, when in the 1986, 1987 timeframe, when the Silver Eagle coinage came out, that's what they were doing. They were making the blanks, and then they quit to save money. So they ended up having to pay more money. But that money is not constrained by the amount they pay for the silver. And then it says, secretary shall not pay more than the average world price for silver under any circumstances. As used in this paragraph, the term average world price means the price determined by a widely recognized commodity exchange at the time the silver is obtained by the secretary. That is silver bullion. That's 1,000-ounce bars. The U.S. Mint can get as many 1,000-ounce bars as they want, and then hand those bars over to the Sunshine Mint, or whoever they hire, and pay any price for the manufacturing, because they shut down their own manufacturing to save money. Whether that was a smart move or a bad move, it does not matter. They are required by law to pay any price for the manufacturing of them and pass those costs on to the individuals. But they are still required by law to create coins enough to meet demand. Period. Exclamation point. So this means nothing. And Patrick gets it completely wrong. He halfway through his articles, he mixes up silver bullion and the silver blanks. Two completely different things. Right? It's like okay, the U.S. Mint has to buy. You can go down anything, any product. There's a process of manufacturing, and that's why it was written into the law that they're going to take the price they got the silver for, which should be the fair market value of silver at the time, and then add on all the costs it take to manufacture the coins. And the U.S. Mint is not supposed to be making a profit, by the way. And it has nothing to do with it. They are required by law to spend whatever amount of money to procure the silver blanks. To procure the silver, we know. They go onto the COMEX, they say, hey, I'm going to buy 10,000 contracts, I'm going to take delivery today. They can do that. They can do it at the LBMA as well. Now, if there's a problem there and they're not ready to deliver it, then the average price on the market is not what they're representing. And remember, I mean, the biggest thing that kind of shocking that Patrick didn't get is U.S. Mint has been doing the same thing for a long time. Why all of a sudden now they say, oh, we're constrained? And I don't really think the Mint said that they were constrained. I think it was Patrick Heller who kind of made this thing up in his own mind to say they are constrained by the cost of silver blanks, which has nothing to do with the law. I hope that makes sense to everybody. You can read the codes. I've read them many times. They change them. They tweak them on occasion. I mean, the big tweak is the Treasury Secretary gets to determine if they're meeting demand. And if Janet Yellen believes that the U.S. Silver Eagles are meeting demand, the demand for them, then she needs to have a psychological evaluation done and be kicked out for incompetence. Everybody knows Silver Eagles are not being made to satisfy demand. And now everybody should know that the U.S. Mint has to pay whatever it takes to get the manufactured blanks into their warehouse and make those Silver Eagles. They can buy silver at spot price, according to the law. And they can do all this stuff. They just are looking for excuses. And if this was a valid excuse, they should have never made a Silver Eagle, since they shut down their planchette making facility, or wherever they were making the blanks. So, I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but I hear so many people saying, oh, the U.S. Mint are constrained. They are constrained by nothing. Nothing. All right, hope that makes sense. Anyway, I'm still on vacation. I'll be back Monday. Yes, we do still have the Silver Ruta coins available for every subscription. Subscription or renewal on the private road at roadtoruta.com. Go over there. The coolest coin ever. We are getting them from the minting facility today. That's Bix Engraving down by L.A. Awesome people down there. Bix Engraving, B-E-X. No, not Bix. Bix Engraving. And then we got to paint the hearts. And then we'll be sending them out to people as soon as we get that done. Probably May 1st, we're going to start shipping. So make sure you get your Road to Ruta private road subscription or renewal. We give them out for renewals as well. And then we'll ship you to your front door a numbered double strike with luster Silver Ruta Lives coin. So much symbolism in this heart that we are painting on every single coin. yeah, exciting times on the road to Ruta. That's all I got for you. I'll talk to you guys later when I get back into the office.
Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail.